Good morning, children. Our next concept corresponding to coordination compounds is IUPAC nomenclature. We already know that IUPAC means International Union of Pure and Applied Chemistry. IUPAC means International Union of Pure and Applied Chemistry. So, according to IUPAC system, certain rules are provided for naming complex compounds. The first rule is positive part of the complex compound is named first. This is a very familiar rule. Generally, we are using this rule in our regular life also. Let us consider table salt, sodium chloride. So, in the name of the table salt, so we are first providing the name of cation, sodium chloride. Sodium carbonate, let us consider Na2CO3, sodium carbonate, which is called as washing soda. So first in the name of the compound we are providing the name of cation only. So according to IUPAC system, positive part of the complex compound is named first. So in this compound K4FeCN6, this is the positive part. Therefore the name of this complex compound is started with potassium. It is always started with potassium. That is the first rule. And second rule is that the ligands of complex compounds are to be named next. After naming the positive part of the complex, positive ion of the complex, the next part named is ligands. Ligands are named next. So we know that this is ligand, this is the central metal ion. This is the coordination sphere according to our previous discussion. So therefore names of the ligands are named next. That is the second rule. And third one is that the neutral ligands are named as the molecule. So this is also discussed in the previous class. Always a neutral ligand is named as usually in the form of a molecule, and anion ligands are end with the suffix O, chloro, bromo, iodo, in this way. Anion ligands are end with the suffix O, and cation ligands names end with suffix IUM. Nitronium, in this way. IUM, and with cation ligands are end with IUM, and anion ligands end with O, and neutral ligands are named as the molecule. And fourth one is that if more than one same kind of ligands are present, then prefix di, tri, tetra, etc. are used. If more than one same kind of ligands are present, if same kind of ligands are 2, then the word di is used. If the same kind of ligands are 3, then the word tri is used. If the same kind of ligands are 3, then the word tetra is used. Di 2, tri corresponding to 3, 4 corresponding to tetra, etc. In the case of chelating ligands, are ligands already containing di, tri, tetra, etc. words. In few cases, ligands already contains the word di, tri, tetra, etc. In such a case, we are not supposed to repeat the words. So, due to that reason, in such a case, the words bis corresponding to 2 similar ligands, tris corresponding to 3 similar ligands, and tetrakis corresponding to 4 similar ligands are used. This is the fifth rule. Now, sixth rule is when more than one type of ligand are present in the complex, then alphabetical order is followed. Generally, more than one kind of ligands are present generally. So, in such a case, we have to follow the alphabetical order. Cl, Br are present, for example. Cl corresponding to chloro, Br corresponding to bromo. According to alphabetical order, which comes first? Bromo comes first. Chloro comes next. So therefore, we have to follow alphabetical order. And seventh one, after naming of ligands, the central metal ion is to be named. After naming the ligands, the next naming part is central metal ion, followed by its oxidation state in Roman numerals in bracket. If central metal ion oxidation state is 2, we have to represent its oxidation state in Roman numerals in the brackets of the name of central metal ion. If its oxidation state is 3, we have to represent the oxidation state with the Roman numerals plus 3 in the bracket of the name of the central metal ion. This is the way. So there are two sub rules. First one is in the seventh one there are two sub rules. First one is if the complex is neutral or cationic. On the square bracket, if there is no charge present, in few cases no charge is present on the square bracket. So therefore that is said to be neutral complex. Or the complex is cationic. In some cases the square bracket consists what is the charge? A positive charge. If it contains no charge or positive charge, if the complex is neutral or cationic, that means the square bracket species of the coordination compound is neutral or cationic, then central metal ion is named as it is. For example, there is a positive charge on the central coordination sphere. So then the name of the central metal ion is named as it is, cobalt, nickel, in this way. So directly we have to name the central metal ion without modifying the name. Rule B. If the complex is anionic, if there is a negative charge present on the complex, for example, this is ionized, what is produced? 4K plus and FeCN6, 4 minus ion is produced. So therefore FeCN6, 4 minus on the square bracket, what is the charge present? Negative charge is present. So therefore this is an example for anionic complex in such a case. If the complex is anionic, then central metal ion name ends in 8. For example, this is iron. So therefore, or this is also called as ferrum. So therefore, this is end with 8, ferrate, in this way. So instead of representing iron, cobalt, nickel, cobaltate, nickelate, ferrate are the names used for naming central metal ion in the case of anionic complexes. And eighth one is after the name of central metal ion. So central metal ion is named next. So then anion which is in the outer sphere is to be named. So outer sphere means outside the square bracket. If any anion is present, that is named next according to the eighth rule. Now you have to prepare all the eight rules, and after the completion of studying of the 8 rules, we have to name certain complex compounds. So this is the next task. So by using these rules, we have to know how to name a given complex compound. This is the next task. After completion of IUPAC rules, so this is a set of examples. This includes set of examples which is corresponding to naming of complex compounds. First one is K4FeCN6. When this complex is ionized, this produces 4K plus and FeCN6 4 minus ions. So therefore, what is the charge present on this coordination sphere? Negative charge is present. Therefore, this is an example for anionic complex. Every anionic complex is end with 8. Okay. So first rule is that you have to name the cationic part of the complex. So the cationic part of the complex is potassium. Next, ligand is named. There are 6 ligands. Hexa. This is corresponding to cyano. Anionic ligands ends with O. Cyano. And this is ferrum. And this is anionic complex. Therefore, this is end with ferrate. After completion of the name, we have to represent the oxidation state of the central metal ion. How can we find out the oxidation state? There are 6 Cl minus ions, minus 6. There are 4 K plus ions, plus 4. Therefore, minus 6 plus 4. Net charge is equal to minus 2. Therefore, there is no charge appearing on the complex. This iron necessarily contains 2 units of positive charge. Hence, it is ferrate 2. Second example is K2PtCl6. K2PtCl6. So this is a positive ion, therefore the charge present on the complex will be negative. Therefore this is also an example for anionic complex. First always name the cationic part. Potassium. Next ligand hexachloro. Anionic ligand ends with O. Hexachloro. So this is anionic complex, therefore platinate. Next oxidation state. This is Cl minus ion. How many? 6. Minus 6. 2 potassium plus 2, net charge minus 4. Therefore, platinum contains 4 units of positive charge. Potassium hexachloroplatinate 4. This is the third example. CONH36 Cl3. So therefore, negative ion is present outside. Therefore, this is an example for cationic complex. Next, in the case of cationic complex, you have to name the cationic part first. In the cationic part, you have to name ligands first. Hexaamine 6. Hexaamine. Neutral ligands are named as usually. Cobalt 3. Oxidation state is completed. Cobalt 3. And outside part, anion is present. Chloride. Hexaamine, cobalt 3 chloride. How can we find out the 3 units positive charge or oxidation state on cobalt? There are neutral ligands, 0. So this carries 3 units of negative charge. Therefore, necessarily cobalt contains 3 units of positive charge. This one. So there are 2 different ligands. We have to follow the alphabetical order. As Cl minus is present outside, this is an example for cationic complex. So therefore, in the cationic part is named first. So there are 4 H2O molecules. Water molecules are named as aqua, and Cl minus ions named as chloro. Aqua, chloro. Aqua starting letter A, chloro starting letter C. Therefore, according to the alphabetical order, this comes first. Therefore, tetra aqua, dichloro, chromium 3 chloride. So how can we find out the positive charge presenting on chromium? This is neutral, 2 Cl minus, another Cl minus, there are 3 Cl minus. Therefore, necessarily the charge present on chromium will be plus 3. So here a doubt will arise. So this is tetra aqua. So therefore, some may consider T is the starting letter, but you have to not consider the word from di, tri, tetra, etc. prefixes. You have to consider the first letter from the ligand direct name. So aqua A, chloro C. So then this comes first, not this. This is not considered. Only A is considered. Next. CONH3 thrice Cl3. So this is a neutral complex, no charge is present. So we have to name the ligands first. This is amine and this is chloro. Amine A, chloro C. So therefore triamine, and there are 3 chlorines, trichloro, cobalt 3. Why the positive charge is present present on cobalt is equal to 3. This is neutral. This is 3 Cl minus. Necessarily the charge will be plus 3. Next, PTNH3 twice Cl4. This is also similar to this case. This is a neutral complex. Diamine, tetrachloro, platinum 4. Next, K3CONO3 6 times. As K3 appears here, this is a positive ion. Necessarily this will be negative ion. So this is similar to the first case. So therefore you have to name the cationic part first. Potassium, hexa, nitro, cobalt 3. Next, 8th one. Na2FeCN5 times NO. So this is cationic part. Necessarily this will be anionic part. So anionic parts will be end with 8. So this is cationic part, first named sodium pentacyano. This is nitrosonium. Already names of ligands are listed in the initial class. So this is sodium pentacyano, nitrosonium, ferrate 2. This is anionic complex, ends with 8. NiCl4 2 minus. This is also anionic complex. Tetrachloro nickelate 2 ion. Next, this is pentaamine chloro ruthenium 3 ion. Ruthenium 3 ion. This is a positive ion. So therefore, the name of the central metal ion is not modified, taken as usual. Next, FeEn thrice Cl3. We are already discussing that En corresponding to ethylene diamine. Ethylene diamine already contains the word di. Therefore, instead of using di, tri, etc., we can use the word tris, bis, tetrakis, etc. How many are there? 3 are there. So therefore use the word tris. Tris, within brackets ethylene diamine. Tris ethylene diamine. Next, this is iron 3. Iron 3 and outside anion is present, chloride. Minus, you have to know glycine, the molecule glycine corresponding to NH2, CH2, COOH. NH2, CH2, COO minus is called as glycinate anion. NH2, CH2, COOH is glycine. NH2, CH2, CO minus is glycinate anion. How many glycinate anions are there? There are 2 glycinate anions. So this is also a chelating ligand. So one coordinate covalent bond is formed from this side. Another coordinate covalent bond is formed from this side. So in the case of chelating ligands, we have to use bis, tris, tetra, etc. word instead of using di, tri, tetra, etc. So due to that reason, bis, there are 2. Bis, glycinato, anionic ligands are ends with O, glycinato, nickel 2. So this is a neutral complex, therefore there is no modification in the name of the central metal. So this is the way of naming complexes.